Hey Speech Path fam! Today we're going to talk about something really exciting for all of my newly graduated / CF speech language pathologists. If you are in grad school, this is the perfect video for you to save and hold on to because you're going to want to remember these things in your CF year. These are my top 5 ways to manage your daily to-do list and all the tasks of being a new SLP. First of all, let me take a minute and congratulate all of the newly graduated SLPs. Welcome to your Speech Path family. And with so many new SLPs or soon to be SLPs entering our field, I wanted to make sure that I provided some tips and tricks for you to carry with you through your first year as a speech language pathologist. These are things that maybe you're even going to carry on further than your first year. They're things I still reflect on to this day. The first thing to remember is that the learning doesn't stop. When you're in grad school, you're just in this really big zone of learning. And while now you get to take all those things that you've learned and really and truly apply them, you also want to make sure that you're staying open-minded and realizing that there's always going to be something that changes in our field within the different areas of our field. That's why we do a lot of continuing education. There's always new research, there's new people to listen to. And as a newly graduated SLP, you're gonna have a lot of opportunities to continue learning. But a big piece of that is just to stay open-minded, learn from your clients first and foremost, learn from the families you work with, learn from the other service providers that maybe you'll be working with now. A big part of this too is remembering that it's okay not to know everything. I remember when I first graduated from graduate school, I didn't feel like I knew everything, but I felt like I should know everything. And that was not the most healthy mentality to have going into my CF year, because it made me really anxious about not knowing and not feeling like I could ask questions. It was my own hang up. Nobody told me that I was supposed to know everything, but I wasn't told that it was okay not to know everything. So when things don't make sense, or when you realize there maybe was a gap in your learning or something that you didn't feel confident with when you were in graduate school, feel free to ask for support. That's why you have supervisors, and hopefully you have a good network of SLPs where you're at in your CF year to be able to support you and answer your questions. And if you don't, there's plenty of us on Instagram, TikTok, all the places that are here for you. I mean, you can literally put questions in this video and I will answer them for you. On the flip side of all this, remember to exercise your ability to add information, especially because you just graduated. You have the freshest knowledge and the freshest energy going into your CF year. So when you feel something is valuable, even though you're new, it doesn't mean that you can't add information or share what you know. Please do it. There's a lot of us that it's been a while since we've been in grad school. We are still trying to figure out what CEUs we need to take to freshen our perspectives on certain things. So if you feel like there's something that you can add that's helpful and supportive of all of us that need maybe some more of that information, please share it. We want to create environments in our work and in our life that are conducive to learning and openness. When we are a part of the team and we're working alongside our team members from the get-go, it's really helpful. My second tip for you, time management. Now, this is something that is going to be very subjective, and you're also going to want to exercise some trial and error as you figure out what is the best use of your time as a clinical fellow. And this could change week to week, month to month, season to season. But there's definitely going to be times as a CF and even after where you have an overwhelming amount of things on your plate. Evaluations, therapy sessions, report writing, billing, meeting, progress monitoring. So having a strategy that works for you and maybe trying to set that up from the get-go, if you know how to prioritize already, like if you just kind of know what works for you. I didn't going into my CF year. I gave myself time to really figure out how to prioritize my tasks so I wasn't having to take work home. But I did start out taking work home because I didn't know, and I kind of just thought that was what was supposed to happen. No, if you give yourself time to figure out what you need to do in what order, or how to reschedule things on a daily basis so you can get work done at work, take that time to do so. It's actually okay. I would say create a schedule for yourself that helps you prioritize your tasks on a daily basis. Instead of trying to do too many things at once, Prioritize 3 main things each day that you want to make sure get done. Check those off your list. You'll feel satisfied at the end of the day. You'll feel more satisfied at the end of the day because you gave yourself a few things that you were able to get done completely with your whole attention versus 10 things that you only got half of them done and you weren't even fully attentive. And you'll find more balance that way. My third tip for you: communicate. This goes back up to that idea of asking for help when you need it. And we also want to make sure that when we're asking for help where we need it, we are being good self-advocates. Boundary setting, communication, self-advocacy, it all starts now. And the more comfortable you get doing these things and communicating what you need, the more of a habit it will become in your future as a speech-language pathologist. So be open and honest with your supervisors, with your network of SLPs about where you feel maybe you need more support or where you can help support your teams more. This all kind of leads into my next point here. Networking is so essential. Whenever a new SLP or somebody maybe going into the schools or any area of being a speech-language pathologist comes to me and says, Marie, what is one of the first things I can do to set myself up for success? Network. Find your lifeline. You want to find those people, AKA other SLPs, that have the resources that can guide you, the supports. Maybe they have different therapy materials that are helpful to you. So one of the first things you can do is start building those relationships. Reach out to the SLPs once you get hired, email them, let them know, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm coming from this graduate program, or you don't have to do that, but if you want to, and just make those connections now or at your first group meeting. Make sure that you're meeting people, you're asking people questions about themselves. What grad school did you go to? What grades do you work with? Like any of it, to just start having those relationships, having people that you can email and give you that support system. My fifth tip, and arguably the most important, if you take anything away from this video, remember that self-care is vital. Please, please, please. When I was a clinical fellow, I didn't put any emphasis on my self-care. I mean, I would try and get sleep. I would try and drink enough water. I would try and eat good foods, but sometimes I was, overwhelmed and would just fall back on, well, I'm stressed. Well, when I have time, next year I'll make sure I do this. And no, it's not worth it, because you want to enjoy every moment you can of your clinical fellowship. And by taking care of yourself first and prioritizing yourself as a human first is going to be the gateway into doing so. So make sure you're taking care of yourself both physically, mentally, emotionally. Get enough sleep. If you have to stop writing your report so you can get sleep, do it. Do it. It'll be there tomorrow morning. Eat well. If you have time, once a week to sit and meal prep or do something that will help you continue to nourish your body, you're gonna have a better energy going into all the tasks of being a speech language pathologist if you're nourishing the inside of your body. So with that, I say drink water, exercise, and give yourself time to rest. Give yourself time to play. Give yourself time to be creative. Find what works for you. I've made different videos on different routines you can have, different ways to stay mindful, different ways to support your mental health. So you have resources, not just mine, but there's plenty out there. So make sure that you're figuring out what routines work best for you to prioritize yourself as a human first. This amazing role as a speech language pathologist, which, by the way, did I say congratulations yet? Congratulations. It can be so fun, and we are in a position where we are, altruistic, we're serving others, but remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to put yourself first, and it is a role that you play in life, but it is not who you are. You have so many amazing things that define you, that you love to do. You have people you love spending time with. So don't sacrifice all of those things for this role as a speech language pathologist. Make sure you're still nourishing yourself and nurturing all those things that make you uniquely you. This is gonna be a huge period of growth for you. Stay open to learning about your clients, the people you work with, your facility, and most importantly, stay open to learning about yourself, because you are going to grow a lot more than you realize, probably a little bit more even than you grew in grad school, because now you're out there, you're in different environments, and you can just continue to be a sponge and soak up what you need to, but also understand where you can start setting some boundaries if you need to. I love you, and I hope you take a little break before you start your CF year. Do something fun, celebrate yourself, and I'm wishing you all the best. I'm here for you, and see you in the next video.